If the audio's out of sync, we'll fix it. You guys basically are the test audience. Bobshow's Christmas live stream. If the audio's out of sync, we'll fix it.
Okay, we got it.
You guys basically are the test audience. Bobshow's.
There we go. Okay. Alright, so, hi everybody. I am so sorry about that. Wee bit of technical difficulties there, but hey, we got it. And this live stream has been brought to you by YouTube, screwing everything up for absolutely no reason since, I don't know, forever. I mean, they have a question in their FAQ, why do you have no start and stop buttons? Guys, you kind of need those, don't you?
Guys, how's the audio sync?
Hi everybody in channel. How's it looking?
Tumblr, boo! Audio's fine, sync is good. Okay! Alright, hello. We apologize for the delay.
So apologetic. I am so sorry.
Just as a note here, I am on Skype with him, and there is a huge delay between the video that I'm seeing on YouTube and the Skype voice, so I have the YouTube video muted. So I'm going to be a little bit behind you guys, or ahead of you guys. Ahead of you guys. I'll be ahead of you guys.
And I'm adjusting my video slightly on OBS, since apparently we need OBS now. That's a thing. Thank you for making things so idiot-proof, YouTube. Just making sure that we're nice and more or less full screen here. There we go. Let's go ahead and fix that so... just a little bit more. Alright, and there we are.
Yay! Oops.
And I can actually see my video on my phone here as we're streaming, so that's good.
Okay.
Now I am getting back to Skype, so my lady can talk to me there. Okay.
Alright, anybody, I have a couple of the voice suggestions that you guys have made, but rather than scroll back through all of the technical difficulty, you guys trying to help, thank you very much for those that did. Go ahead and shout out, or not shout out, but type out some of your voice suggestions. And,
yes, for those of you who are just joining us, we are doing a very special live stream wherein I am reading Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And of course, the big appeal of this is that you guys get to suggest what voices I'm going to use while narrating. So, yes, let's go ahead and toss those names out. And what have we got so far, sweetheart?
Let's start off with Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. Let's see here. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Great Scott!
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim Carrey's The Grinch.
Jim Carrey's The Grinch doing The Grinch. How meta. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
Okay. That was good.
Thank you.
Let's have some Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, God.
And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming. I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys and then all the noise, 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 noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise.
That's good. Okay, and now from Brandon Croker, he would like you to do some Michael Caine Alfred. Hi, Brandon.
Hello, Brandon. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. They'd feast on Who pudding, and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Next.
Yes, just a moment. This Charming Man 2, Mr. This Charming Man 2, gotta say which Joker. There are several Jokers, and Bobsheaux can do them all. Okay. And also, I'm thinking you're gonna have to go through the book at least twice.
Oh, am I?
So many good suggestions, yes, and it's a short book, like you said.
Twice
all right,
in a single stream, not twice just now and later at 7. Which you must
twice
always
in a single stream. I think we can do that.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Any clarification on that, Joker?
Generation 1.
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick. Keep going to our next voice.
Next voice, my personal favorite, Mark Hamill's Joker. I'll try not to get too turned on.
All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer were scarce, there were none to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread, and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags on some empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, get up! And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town.
Okay, to answer someone's question I saw go by, he can do some female voices. Some female voices. Not all of them, so we're going to have to be kind of selective. Alright, oh, that's a good one. Cool Cat!
Oh, Lord. All their windows were dark! Quiet snow filled the air! Quiet snow. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came to the first little house on the square. Yay! This is stop number 1! The old Grinchy Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist! Doing him hurts.
Okay, I have a suggestion for someone who gave you a tip.
Oh, did they? Thank you
They
very
would
much.
like to hear you do a Wicked Witch.
Wow, Wow, Wicked Witch right after Cool Cat. That is very ironic. Cool Cat fights the Wicked Witch. That's gotta be a movie. Derek Savage, I know we've had our differences in the past, but please make that movie.
Don't encourage him.
Encourage.
No.
And he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two. Then he stuck his head out and the fireplace flue where the little Who stockings hung all in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go.
And Ryan says that he and his grandma have been watching you for 4 years. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. And hi, Grandma.
Hi,
Is she
Grandma.
watching?
Is she watching the stream? Don't know. We'll find out. Okay.
Thanks, Lag.
Yeah, thanks, Lag. Patrick Warburton.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present! Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn, and plums. Then he stuffed them in bags, then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags up, one by one, up the chimney! Yeah!
Oh my god, I'm not gonna survive this.
Oh, you love it.
It's too much. Alright, here's what I know you could do. Vincent Price.
Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash.
Christopher Walken.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. Wow.
Oh, God. Optimus Prime G1.
It's a good thing you used the bathroom beforehand, right?
Shut up!
I love you. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove. When he heard the small sound like the coo of a dove, he turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch. Santa Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? Optimus Prime and Cindy Lou Who. There you go.
I just realized that I was supposed to be sending these voice suggestions to you via text.
That's okay, this is working.
Okay, this is working, gotcha. Okay, let's see. Tim Curry.
But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here.
Okay, that is now Karloff.
Excuse me. Karloff.
I was hoping you would remember to refill your water.
Did Karloff have anything to do with the Grinch? I don't know. Who cares? And his fib fooled the child, and he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Okay, good. I'm sorry, I'm reading, I'm pouring myself something to drink.
It's okay. They got time.
I'm hiding comments. Come on, guys.
Are we saying inappropriate things in here?
Won't let me remove the comment? Okay. Oh, it's held for review. Oops. Okay, sorry about that.
Live entertainment.
Jack, Captain Jack Sparrow, please.
Oh, you almost didn't say captain.
Never, I would never forget the captain.
Then he did the same thing that the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 15:15 dawn. All the Who's still obeyed. All the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. Of course, it's impossible to do Captain Jack Sparrow without the... It's not just the voice, it's the...
It's the mannerisms, yes. Alright, someone tipped you just to say to do my voice. Can you give that a try?
Oh dear. Baby, I love you. Please don't hate me.
The stakes are high for this one, baby, I'm telling you. No pressure.
3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Poo-poo to the Who's, he was grinchily humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two, then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. All my naughty boys and girls.
I don't know if that's close, because I don't know what I sound like. I don't. Okay, so that was me.
I like to think I sounded very hot.
Yeah, baby. Alright, now let's sound not hot and do Herbert the Pervert.
That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, and it started to grow.
You going with that voice or a different one?
That's good. That's good. Hang on. I have lost the stream. I don't know what's going on. Come on. Hang on, guys. I can't. What in the world? Okay. That was dumb. I had to pop it out. It wouldn't let me do anything.
Oh, sorry, baby.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Delays. Technical difficulties. Can we have some classic Disney Mad Hatter?
But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
And Johnny Depp's Mad Hatter.
Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other. It came just the same!
Tommy Wiseau.
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. Then he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, you thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. What a funny story, Grinch.
Okay, bye.
You're tearing me apart, Raven Fox!
A sentient washing machine asks you to do one that I have never heard of. So who is Waluigi? Waluigi? I don't know what that is.
I only know Waluigi from Dorkly, so I don't know if that's cheating or not.
Well,
Well,
hold
here we
on
go.
just a second. Let me see if we have... Okay, well, yeah, just do that one.
Yeah, I can do that. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he... Turning the page, he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Wah, wah, wah. And there we have my crazy ramblings on how the Grinch stole Christmas.
Oh, you've got to start it over.
For the first
that
time.
wasn't nearly enough. So
Yeah.
many people. You have 123 people in your stream right now.
Hi, 123 people. What was it when we began?
I don't remember. We were having technical difficulties. I didn't look.
Yes, and for the people who did not see me stumbling around for those first few awkward minutes, hello! So, encore presentation, everybody?
Yes, let's give it just a few minutes in between. And, yeah, someone, I agree. People will keep asking for different voices. That's awesome.
This is just going nicely so far.
Yes,
Technical
it is.
difficulties aside. So, we all having a good time?
I'm jotting down voices here.
Uh-oh. Since I got my phone on silent here, it seems that I missed a call from a number I don't recognize. So, I don't care. On the topic of voices, I don't care. I saw someone suggested the Angry Video Game Nerd. Sorry, I want this to be family-friendly streaming. Oh. Oh, God.
I didn't write that one down yet.
Tanner Getcha, I hate you.
What did he say? I missed it.
He not only suggested that I do SpongeBob,
Oh, no.
but he tipped me $2.
Oh, no. You gotta do it.
I kinda do, don't I?
Yeah.
Ugh. Shall we begin? Once again with...
No, let me get a few more voices.
Oh, sure, okay.
I don't know, do an interpretive dance or something. Say hi to everybody. Who here is going to be at the 7 o'clock performance, too?
There, I said hello channel in an interpretive dance. Even I'm confused.
Remember, if I throw any of these at you and you really don't feel comfortable doing it, just let me know, because I have plenty to choose from.
That's totally fine. But yes.
How many of you are going to become patrons so that you can come to tomorrow's performance? That's going to be fun.
Don't forget, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Ooh, The Nightmare Before Christmas. You want me to read it, don't you? Ooh.
Yes, that's going to be good. Okay, I think I'm ready. Let's start off with SpongeBob.
Hooray! Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Ah! I feel dirty.
You've cheapened yourself. Okay, can you do some Christopher Lee for us, please? Did you already do Christopher Lee? Nope, you haven't done Christopher Lee.
I did in my review, but I can always do a little bit more, you see. But whatever the reason, his heart on his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in that town. For he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath. And like with Captain Jack Sparrow and the, it is impossible to do Christopher Lee without the frown of all frowns plastered upon your face. Next voice. Maybe?
I am so sorry! Someone was at my door!
Sorry.
I had to run away.
Occupado!
Okay. I'm back now.
Hooray!
Alright, voice, do a voice. Do Kermit the Frog.
And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early, they'd rush for their toys, and then, oh, the noise, 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 noise! That's one thing he hated. The noise, 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 noise!
How about Marvin the Martian?
Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. They'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast! They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which is something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And that makes him very angry.
Very angry indeed.
Very angry indeed.
Let's have some Adam West Batman, please.
And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together. With Christmas bells ringing, they'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing! And they'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Old chum.
Oh, my heart. Can you do Stan Lee?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Even if I can't, yes, I can. Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea, true believers. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick. Excelsior!
Very good. We miss you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you for everything.
How about some Popeye the Sailor Man? Doot doot.
Oh boy. Let's see, Bob Dylan but stuttering. There we go.
Yes, this reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer was scarce, there was something to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said, if I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, and he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head.
People are saying Stanley would have been proud. Can you do some Winnie the Pooh?
Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, get up, and the sleigh started down toward the toward the homes where the Who's lay a-snooze in their town. No bother.
Peter Lorre.
All the windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came on the first little house on the square. This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist.
Skeletor.
Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue where the little Who stockings hung all in a row. These stockings, he grinned, are the first things to go.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Can you do Dr. Claw?
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room. He took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums. And he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed them in bags one by one up the chimney. And
Something said you sound like Demon Show.
And for the record, yes, I will get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
You need to get a sip of water. That had to be hard on your voice.
It wasn't the easiest voice, no, that is correct. Anyway.
How about some Beetlejuice? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
It's showtime! And then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash, while that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash.
Oh, that was amazing.
Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I'll stuff up the tree.
Okay, how about Macho Man Randy Savage?
And then the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. Oh, yeah! The Grinch had been taught by this tiny Who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch who simply said, "Snap it to a Slim Jim!" No. Sandy calls, "Why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?"
Hank Hill.
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake Santa Claus lied, "there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here." Ugh. God dang it, Bobby.
Can you do 1960s Riddler?
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head and got her a drink and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up.
Now you gotta do some 1960s Joker.
Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the last speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Mickey Mouse.
Then he did the same thing with the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's houses. Wow, what a dick.
Okay, Mater.
It was dawn. All the Who's still in bed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings and trappings. 3,000 feet.
I said I love Mater. Sorry.
I love him too. 3,000 feet up beside of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it. poo-poo to the Who's, he was grinchishly humming. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're waking up now. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo.
You're doing.
Bela Lugosi, boy, that's a big switch.
That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville. The Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise.
And I think that I'm going to take my own suggestion, which is what spawned this whole thing, where we were testing it out anyway, and decided that this would be fun to do. Let's hear some Eartha Kitt.
Oh, God. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other, it came just the same.
Elmo.
And the Grinch with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Then he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Bobsheaux on helium, someone said.
Not even I know what that sounds like, because I can inhale helium and nothing happens.
That's so weird. Okay, how many more pages do we have? How many more voices can we do?
1.
Just one?
So we gotta make it.
No.
So we gotta make this one a good one, people. What's it gonna be?
Really good one. I've got one that's been suggested a couple of times, but I don't know if it's the same person that's just suggested it over and over again or not.
What is it?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, and then Morgan Freeman! You gotta do Morgan Freeman! But I want to hear Obi-Wan Kenobi. And, oh, Jar Jar Binks! Okay, this is terrible. You guys have to come to the other one.
Yes, I was gonna say, we've got another one of these,
Woo!
but closing line, it's kind of got to be Morgan Freeman here.
Yeah, it's got to be Morgan Freeman.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Thank you.
That was awesome. Okay, that was actually pretty short. So
short book.
A short book. You did it twice. I think that was good. Of course, this video will be uploaded so that you guys can enjoy it. And there's another performance at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you are a patron, or if you become a patron, you can attend tomorrow's session at 7 p.m. also, where he'll be reading a whole different story.
Subtle plug.
None too subtle plug.
So, yes,
So,
we all
do you guys have any questions? You guys have any questions for Bobsheaux? Someone says they'll be here at 7 to hear those Star Wars impressions.
Yes. Anyways, I had a good time.
I don't think the chat is caught up to me asking.
It's getting there.
Oh, let's see. Short summary on opinion on the new Grinch movie. Well, you could check out. Are you talking about for Bobshow's opinion? Because he already posted the review.
To say, can't just go there.
Low. He had a very low opinion.
I'm sorry, the Grinch is supposed to be a monster. It's in the it's in the lyrics. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch.
Oh, Bobsheaux, why do you hate SpongeBob?
I don't think he's funny. I'm sorry. Not funny, annoying voice. How many episodes do I have to watch before I'll decide that I suddenly enjoy it? If you like it, great. That's awesome. You can go ahead and like whatever you want. I'm sorry, I don't. And I'm really not gonna.
Sorry that the creator passed away.
Yes, I am sorry that the creator of something that you enjoyed is no longer with us, but if you want
that doesn't make him like it.
if you want me to honor his memory, you don't want me to review SpongeBob. You don't. I'm sorry.
He's not going to have nice things to say.
I'm not.
And also, I didn't let my kids watch SpongeBob because I thought he was just rude. I didn't want my. I mean, they grew up rude anyway, but you know, I gave it the old college try to keep them from being rude.
And sometimes all you can do is try.
Do you watch Doctor Who?
I do not watch Doctor Who. I have only seen enough through cultural osmosis that I have a kind of basic idea of what he's all about.
He's a she now.
Yes, he is, isn't he? And it's weird. You would think that of all properties to do a gender swap like that, you'd think Doctor Who would be one of the easiest transitions, right? Because with every new Doctor, it's a completely new genetic reboot, right?
Yes.
Okay, why is male to female such a stretch?
Well, because the fanboys didn't want it for a long time.
Well, yeah, but
someone asked if I let my kids watch
believe me,
Show.
I get that. I am there. I am totally there with arbitrarily gender swapping with any number of characters, but really, Doctor Who sounds like it would be one of the easiest.
Yeah. Bobsheaux is exposed to Doctor Who through his mom, who's a big fan.
Yes, she is. And my lovely lady.
Although I am very, very behind. I have not seen any of the new I kind of fell out of love with the series during the Capaldi episodes, and I just couldn't keep watching. Did not like Capaldi at all. So I haven't gotten caught up, and I don't want to watch the new episodes until I've seen Capaldi's episodes, so I just, maybe after Christmas.
Yes,
is Guest Show still going to be a thing in 2019?
I am sorry, I have been remiss in posting guest shows and supplying ideas for guest show ideas, but I love how much you guys want to do it, so I really need to honor that. You guys want to do guest show, I need to give topics and start posting them again, so yes, there will be new guest shows in 2019. They are coming.
Yes,
I just gotta think of some good ideas to do, because we can't devote an entire month just to one single movie like we did at the beginning. Oh, tons of Alpha and Omegas, good. Oh, tons of Cool Cats, okay, good. No, we gotta swap it up somehow with different themes and subjects and ideas, but
yeah.
But yes, you guys have been asking for it, so more guest show will come. I love you guys.
And, okay, someone asked earlier if I let my kids watch Teen Titans Go. My kids have better taste than that.
Yes, you can let them watch them all
I can let them all day long, but they're not going to watch that crap. And who's my favorite Doctor? My Doctor is Christopher Eccleston. Because that's the first Doctor Who that I watched that got me into it, and I love him. He's very underappreciated.
Eccleston. Is he the Fezzes Are Cool guy?
No, that's Matt Smith.
That's Matt Smith, that's right, no.
Right. He was Eccleston, it went Eccleston, Tennant, then Matt Smith, then Capaldi, and now, oh god, I forgot her name.
Her name.
The new lady doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, she doesn't need a name, she's just the lady one.
Yeah. Hey, Bobsheaux, you gonna go see the new Aquaman?
Aquaman. On the one hand, I'm looking at the trailers and I'm appreciating how much more comic booky this movie apparently is trying to be. But at the same time, it's just... what is this? Is this somehow connected to the DC extended universe we've seen so far? Because, one, it doesn't really look like it, and two, if it is, that doesn't make me want to see it. But... I don't know. If I hear enough good things, maybe I'll check it out, but right now I've just thrown my hands up at the whole DC cinematic universe. No, I'm done. It can't get better. Even, the trailer for Shazam. Shazam looks funny, which I suppose a property like this would have to be, but at the same time, it feels like it's all too little too late. You can't go back from what you've done with Batman v Superman. It's just... ugh. It's just... you can't go back. You can't fix it. You can't suddenly make things funny after you have Batman and Superman after they've just met hounding for each other's blood. And in one of the most cinematically incompetent ways possible. It's like, what are we doing here anymore? And I've been griping about this ever since I first heard of the announcement of a Shazam movie. You hire Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for a Shazam movie. But he's not playing Shazam himself? I mean, okay, he's a decent enough actor. I'm sure he can play Black Adam fine. But no! That's not him! He's the 10-year-old in a child's... or in an adult's body. Come on! That is perfect casting right there.
Yeah, I agree. They skipped a beat there.
Mm.
Bobsheaux does not watch Stranger Things, but I do. I'm looking forward to season 3.
Sorry, I have no opinions on Stranger Things.
It's too pop culture. He doesn't do that.
That's not true. I am simply too busy watching garbage for all of you. You're welcome.
This is true. This is true. Anybody that's asking about mangas and animes, I assure you, he cannot give you an answer on that. He has no opinion other than, huh? It's not into it.
Yet.
yeah, yet. We have plans.
Although, I do need to say this on the topic of watching crap versus watching good movies. I do need to set some time apart to watch Bumblebee. Which apparently the critics are eating up.
What was the Rotten Tomatoes score this morning?
97%.
Have any of you seen Bumblebee?
That is unheard of for a Transformers film.
We've been together for almost 5 years. 4.5 years we've been together.
And what a ride it's been.
Yeah.
And she's getting all gooey.
Maybe a little. Incidentally, we're going to be setting up a crowd fundraiser to hopefully fund our trips so we can be together on our 5th anniversary.
Yes, more details coming on that soon.
Yes, but I'm thinking that maybe reading a book and doing some voices might garner some people.
Maybe.
What do you guys think? Something you'd like to donate to hear some voices?
Yeah, how many tips have we gotten so far just from doing this, which I was not expecting?
3 or 4. It was good.
Nice.
Just want to hang out just a little bit longer since we were late coming on.
Yeah. Again, I am so sorry about that. I thought it was completely foolproof. Just turning it on, click this, click that. Okay, and we're on. Hey guys, how we doing? What do you mean we're not on yet?
How do you go live?
Where's the on button? Why'd you take away the on button? Show me the stream!
Hey Bob, why aren't you a bird or wolf character like Raven?
For the same reason my show began with a quality control personnel with my Uncle Rick, who you may have seen in my review for Catwoman. I had no idea what I was doing when I first started out. I was just me. I was just talking about this really weird comic book that apparently no one had touched upon yet, but needed to be, so, okay, I gotta talk about this. I gotta warn people about this book. So I just came on, did my thing, and I had no plan for Bobsheaux whatsoever. I very quickly burned out of the idea of using my Uncle Rick for quality control. Sorry about that, Uncle Rick. I love you, but that quickly just kind of faded away. And Raven, she was something I was not expecting at all. Just straight out of left field there. And wow, it has been quite a ride since then. But
it's still going strong.
Oh yes. She decided that she needed to be seen kind of sort of on camera, and she asked me to do this Raven avatar for her. And so I'm drawing away based on the specifications that she asked for, and there she is. And why am I not a bird or a wolf? Because I'm just not. Because this is me. And I feel like I need to be me for you guys. The opinions that you see on Bobsheaux have to be 100% true. So, need to be 100% me if I'm going to do that. There are other people who will play up this particular opinion for this particular review or whatever, but then actually feel completely different. It's like, oh, come on, don't do that. But, no. This is me, so you've got to see me. So, no bird or wolves for me. Unless I, you know, turn into one of my many puppet characters, which is weird.
Yeah, but a lot of fun. Everybody
So much
enjoys
fun.
that. Yeah, we're hoping to add at least one more new character to the Bobsheaux lineup in 2019.
Indeed.
Yes, that's going to be funny.
So keep an eye out for that.
Yes. What do you think of the new Sabrina Online comics?
New Sabrina Online comics? They are just like the old ones, so there's really not much to compare between the two, except they're in color now, so that's fun. But no, the writing is just as it always has been. The characters haven't changed at all, and that's always a good thing to see when something you enjoy gets canceled or whatever, and then it comes back, and then what's gonna change? What's gonna be different? Oh, it's the same thing as it's always been. Great, neat. It's fun seeing Zigzag interact with Sabrina's baby, Danielle, who is just too frickin' adorable. I can't stand it. But Auntie Zigzag. That's so great. I love it. Yeah, if you aren't reading the new Sabrina comics, then you're missing out, because they're just in the same spirit as the originals. So yeah, go check them out.
Another one that you guys could check out that we really enjoy is Katana Comics.
Oh lord.
Because it's comics that's basically our lives and our relationship.
It is. Did the cartoonists rig a hidden camera in my bedroom somehow? Because the interactions between Raven and I are exactly, almost, note for note, like what you see in Katana Comics.
So many.
It's ridiculous.
Also a fan of Ichabod the Optimistic Canine.
Always.
Someone says he thinks he knows who my favorite Teen Titan is. Who do you think it is? I bet you won't get it.
Who is it?
We have not watched the new She-Ra, but it's on the list. It's definitely on the list.
Yes, and spoiler alert, I did not grow up with She-Ra, so I really wouldn't know what I'm looking at going into it. So, fresh eyes going into this new show. Great. Neat.
Ha! Paladin Frost got it. It's Beast Boy.
Oh, well, there you go.
I like Raven, don't get me wrong. I don't see the comparison between she and I, but I get that a lot.
See, because her name is Raven and your name is Raven too, that means you're both exactly alike.
I am also quite sarcastic. At times. Usually I'm just meek and mild and easy to get along with, but occasionally I can be sarcastic.
Oh, yes. And do not cross her. You will
What's your
regret.
favorite Teen Titan?
You will regret the day you were born. My favorite Teen Titan. I haven't seen any of the Teen Titan shows, so I gotta go on my default here and say Robin. I mean, come on, guy trained by Batman.
You mean Nightwing? Nightwing.
No, Robin. Why Nightwing?
Is my Robin?
Who's my favorite Teen Titan? Yeah, Robin.
Okay. Am I remembering this? It's been a long time since I've watched it, but did he go by Nightwing?
Not when he was a Titan.
Starfire's cool too. Okay, I could be wrong. We have not seen The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I've heard that it's pretty bad.
I don't understand it. You have something like the Archie Comics universe where everything is kind of delightfully stuck in the idealized world of the 1950s, brought into modern times, and everything is all dark and gritty? How do you put dark and gritty to frickin' Archie?
Oh, Riverside?
Riverdale.
Riverdale, yeah, Riverdale.
And you have Sabrina, which is looking like The Craft. What's going on here? I thought these were supposed to be fun and lighthearted properties. I'm sorry, are we not allowed to have nice things anymore? Is that what that is?
Coming from you, that's rich.
Yeah, think about that. Every time I see some watered-down, anything, really, that's supposed to be, like, dark or upsetting for the kiddies, but it's really like...
Maleficent.
She wanted a baby to die because she wasn't invited to her christening. That is evil. Maleficent needs to be evil, not simply pissed off. By all means, be pissed off. I'm sure that'll feed your evil. Evil being the key word.
I thought overall Maleficent was a good movie, but there were some issues.
Ugh.
Like, she should have turned into the dragon, not the raven. Not her raven minion.
It's bad
I
enough.
am so there for Maleficent 2. I'm going to drag Bobsheaux kicking and screaming. We are going to see this movie.
And I'm going to be wearing this face the entire time. Okay, we get it. Penis bad. Can we move on? Ugh.
Yes, we have to see the new Mary Poppins movie.
That looks interesting, actually.
Yes, and anything with Lin-Manuel Miranda in it, I'm down for.
Who is that again?
The creator of Hamilton, the musical.
Nice. Right.
He's the new Dick Van Dyke.
Is the real Dick Van Dyke in there anywhere?
I don't know. I haven't heard. I don't think so. Maybe. He should be, if he isn't. So,
Any other
let's
questions?
see. I'm looking.
Faithful moderator?
Yes. I'm behind. We have not seen Fuller House. We have not seen Incredibles 2. Yes, Dick Van Dyke is in there, thank you.
Oh, cool.
Thoughts on Tim Burton's Dumbo? You're going to have to wait on that.
Sorry.
We shall not reveal. What's your favorite DC villain?
Oh, really?
I know.
How many times have I showed up dressed up as him on the show? It's gotta be the Joker, for one very simple reason. Very much like how anybody can be Batman with the right amount of determination put into it, anyone can be the Joker. Because all it takes is one bad day.
I would say that there are definitely going to be more reviews on the on the other seasons of Gotham. We just haven't had a chance to get to them yet, but we really like the show.
Oh, yes.
Cameron
Cameron Monaghan, God bless you. You're so amazing.
Jared Leto does not count as a Joker.
No.
That was just a mistake and a travesty.
That was a bad fever dream. That movie didn't happen. No, I don't care that they won Best Makeup. It didn't happen. Ugh. Anywho,
who is your favorite Decepticon?
Favorite Decepticon? This might be kind of weird, but actually, Soundwave. Because in the cartoon, he doesn't really seem to have that much of a personality. It kind of seems like he might have been the first Decepticon? I don't know if that makes sense. He was just some random Autobot that Megatron might have reprogrammed or something. But it seems to me like if you sat down with the guy and gave him a good long talking to, you just might be able to convince him to join the side of the Autobots. And it kind of looks like that might have happened. In Beast Wars, it's established that after the Great War, otherwise Generation 1 was over, a few Decepticons were granted amnesty. I have to think one of those had to be Soundwave and his small troop of tapes. Because not only do we see Ravage working alongside the Predacons nowadays in the time of Beast Wars, but also after Optimus and his Maximals get back to Cybertron, they have a little flashback showing how Megatron took over Cybertron with his virus that wiped out the whole planet. There's one point where you see Soundwave, who's about to be wiped out by the Viacons, and he's gesturing for what looks like one of his tapes to get to safety. And it looks like one of those robots that turns into one of his tapes turns out to be Nightscream. No, really, look back at that episode where Nightscream is giving his backstory. It looks like he was one of Soundwave's original tapes. So, it's like, wow, he actually survived well into the Beast Wars era. And he got wiped out instead of just, taken over easily with one of the other Predacons. Sucks to be him. So, yeah, quite the history to that guy if you really stop and think about it.
Yeah, someone mentioned earlier, I didn't see who it was, but they said that Star Trek should have won Best Makeup. You're damn right they should have.
Star Trek. When did Suicide Squad come out? 2017? Late 2016?
I think so.
But there was a Star Trek movie out at that time? I don't remember. Yeah, I know that Star Trek Into Darkness was like in 2012. Yeah, there was the third Star Trek movie. Who was in that? Baby?
Hang on, sorry. Someone at my door, hang on.
I was gonna say, she had to leave us for some reason.
To answer your question, Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond. Who was in Star Trek Beyond that might have deserved the best makeup?
I don't know.
Oh.
Just in general.
Oh, well.
Star Trek should always win. No. Okay, I think this is about the end of... It's been just over an hour since you got over your technical difficulties.
Wow, 17 minutes into what should have been the beginning. It really took that long? Good God.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, people. One last question?
Okay. Let's see. Badoo-badoo. Can't ask that one. Some of you are asking for opinions on movies and movie trailers and stuff like that. If, not answering that might indicate that down the line, I get a review. So he doesn't want to give it. Where do we live? We're not going to tell you that.
I live in... And Raven lives in... Oh, hi, so-and-so. I shouldn't be making a joke about, but I'm making a joke anyway.
Oh, goodness. Okay. I don't know. I can't see any other questions except, you know,
Opinions on
what
this,
about
that, or the
this?
other.
What do you like about this? What do you think about this? And you can't answer that. I
Not
don't
yet,
know.
I'm afraid.
Just invite everybody.
All right, closing statements.
The next one.
Yes, I'm glad you guys all had fun. And be sure to tune in at 7 p.m. Pacific time tonight, when I'll be once again going over Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And be sure to have
voices.
Yes, be sure to have suggestions for different voices in mind, because this was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. And also be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 for my special patron exclusive reading of The Nightmare Before Christmas. And if you're not a patron yet, well, you know what to do, don't you? All it takes is a pledge as little as $1 to join.
Go to patreon.com/Bobsheaux
Yes.
and pledge so that you can attend tomorrow's live stream, because it's going to be fun.
It will indeed. If today's stream was any indication, and hey, who knows? Maybe there'll be fewer technical difficulties.
Yeah, let's say next time we'll know what we're doing.
Maybe. Unless YouTube decides to throw everything on a whack within the next 24 hours, which I would not put it past them.
No. And if you guys like these, then by all means send some suggestions for other books that you'd like to see and hear Bobsheaux read in the future. Maybe not necessarily Christmas stories, but other stories that, you know, iconic stories that might be fun done in different voices.
Indeed.
So, happy holidays!
Happy holidays.
Hopefully we'll
Merry
see you
Christmas.
at 7.
And I will see you guys later tonight. Bye.